Well, good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to week, number 2 of LC Coaches Corner. I'm Brad Welburn, back at it again here on Wildcats Media Sports. And once again, as you can see here to my left, we have LC football coach Dennis Dunn back again. Coach, first of all, how are things going? Big win for you guys last week. First of all, that had to be just very exciting to get the W.
Absolutely, to come away from a road game and see your guys do what you fully expect to do on the road, and that's win big and take care of business against an opponent that we felt going in, if we were fundamentally sound and did the things that we felt like we needed to do in terms of technique, fundamentals, that we would have an opportunity to have that kind of outcome, and we did. We felt like our guys handled their business well, and it's always good to have the W and coming back home for a big rivalry week this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into a little bit of the specifics of the game. First of all, one of the biggest things that we noticed right out of the gate was the fact that Deandre Joseph got the start over Easton. I guess he got a little bit banged up in the Huntington game, so good opportunity. I think we talked about it after game to get Deandre in, because it's a game that you felt you really have a good opportunity to win and get a good performance from Deandre as well.
Well, Easton sprained his SC joint. It's the inside joint of the collarbone, not the outer joint on the shoulder side that he sprained, and he was pretty sore all week. We didn't practice him, and we looked at him Thursday morning a little bit. He was still really sore, so we pretty much had made our decision by Thursday that Easton would not play. And you know, we know that Deandre is a very talented prospect for the future, and a guy who, you know, for the next 2 years, this will be his job. So getting a start, getting a win, getting some of the you know, some of his issues ironed out as the signal caller was positive, because, you know, again, as big as we won, there were still a lot of things that we can improve on, a lot of things that Deandre can improve on, a lot of things that we've seen, a lot of teaching opportunities with the film. But all in all, I thought his effort was really good. I thought his game management was nice. Just again, still a young quarterback that's got a long way to go, and an offense that can certainly play to his talent level, and it was something that will be very positive for him going forward, actually starting a game and doing well.
Yeah, it looked like he started off maybe a little bit shaky there, maybe trying to get settled in. And we talked after the game. It was, I think, really, and you could see it after the fact, that last drive of the second quarter where he took less than a minute and a half left in the quarter, takes us down for a touchdown, a big play to Farron on the sideline there. And
yeah, I mean, he was nervous. You know, when you're playing a backup role, sometimes in practice your focus, although we tell him every week, you're one play away from being the guy, and your focus has got to be like you're the starter. And for a young quarterback, sometimes learning those lessons in the fire gets their attention, and he was a little nervous, made some threw off his back foot a little bit, was fundamentally incorrect a little bit early on, and I think that had a lot to do with his nerves and wanting to do well, and then again, like you said, the drive right there before the half was beautiful. Of course, he had already had 2 rushing touchdowns at that point, but defense had done its part in getting us good field position, and you know, the big throw to Fair, and then he threw a nice inside post route to Lawrence Williams for the touchdown. Was a beautiful throw, and he's got that kind of capability. He's got a laser arm. He's got a lot of velocity on his ball, and he's very mobile. He's a guy that moves in the pocket really well. So the future's bright with Deandre Joseph at quarterback.
Absolutely. And then the other big thing that we definitely want to talk about on the offensive side for sure was the fact that it's kind of off the field type of deal, but the fact that Oren got a chance to play, even he was a little banged up as well. But you know, his dad and the crowd, I mean, that had to be special for them for sure.
Oren came up to us during the week, and he had been banged up in the Huntington game a little bit, and we were contemplating holding him some in the game and resting him possibly. But he asked us early in the week. He said, Coach, my dad doesn't get to see me play a lot, and he's going to be in this week, and so that right there, I said if he can go, guys, we're gonna let Oren go, because this guy's sacrificed so much to be here and given so much to this program, and having the opportunity to see your dad play in person, we were going to give him opportunities, and he did well. His daddy was proud of him after the game. He said so. He had a very nice outing.
Yeah, that 15-yard touchdown was pretty nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, well, let's shift gears a little bit, talk about the defensive side of the ball, because when you look at the stats, that's one of the things that really jumps off the page at you is 6 interceptions by our defense. Got 6 interceptions. So I talk about that a little bit. I mean, that's pretty big.
Well, we knew coming into the season that we were better. I mean, we saw in the spring, in the off season, that our defense had really grown up and made some progress, and you got a lot of experience back on that side of the ball. And again, it was a defense that took some bumps and bruises last year, but a lot of road game experience, 7 road games like we talked about last show. And so an experienced group, traveling, mature, handled the road really well. But this is a defense that has got some things that they want to prove this season. And it was obvious that they came out with a chip on their shoulder, and they weren't real happy with the outcome of the previous week. Thought it was, we as coaches knew it was a much better output than the year before, but they still, defense was disappointed. They gave up that many points, and we didn't win the game. But you know, the 6 interceptions and just control the line of scrimmage up front. Their quarterback hurries and flushing him out of the pocket all game was really a tribute to our guys just playing with tenacity and wanting to prove that 2016 is a different season than 2015.
And it really was a team effort, like you talked about. I mean, DeMatty had like 8 tackles and a sack or 2. 5 different guys got interceptions in the game, so it wasn't like it was one guy here.
Well, then you had Mike Collins with an 83-yard interception return that's a big linebacker running 83 yards, a 250-pound linebacker.
He was breathing heavy about the 20-yard line.
After about 10 yards, I think he was that proverbial bear jumped on his back. So. But it was great to see, and the kids had fun. I mean, winning's fun. Let's just be honest. Winning is fun. It changed the whole dynamic, changed the whole atmosphere, and the road trip home was fun. And I'm just excited about what this team still, the best is still yet to come for 2016 for sure.
Yeah. Well, now that you had a couple of days to kind of reflect on it, what are the 1 or 2 maybe biggest things that you were most pleased with? And then maybe 1 or 2 things that you still think need the most work going into this week's game?
Well, the positive was getting your backup quarterback a whole game.
Right.
We've mentioned that. But the teaching opportunities with him, everything that he missed a lot of reads. He missed a lot of, for instance, knowing down and distance. We're third and 1, and we got a run pass combo called where he can make a decision at the line of scrimmage of whether to run or throw. Well, he throws it and we lose 2 yards. If he runs it, it's 3rd and 1. Run the football.
Very good chance, yeah.
And so those are the things that in a win, it's easy to go back and teach your young quarterback. Know the situation. Know the situation you're in the game. Know the down and distance. Know the yard line, know the hash, and then make good decisions, because you've got to get us into some good plays. You've got to get us out of bad plays at times. So the very positive there. The defense, just another good outing. We really felt like that the pressure we put on the quarterback was nice. But the other positive there was we played a lot of young men. Just about everybody on the trip played, and so game experience, you can't replace that. And it was just a very positive deal there. And offensive line, I thought, was tremendous. They've been tremendous both weeks, just opening huge holes for our backs. Arn Cooksey had another nice game. You know, those are the unsung heroes. Yeah. And you know, when you think about Ryan Morris and Jamarcus Fitzpatrick and Reggie Reynolds and Rayvon Williams and you know, Jacob, those guys have really done so well, and you just got to mention the offensive line and what they've done in the first 2 weeks to protect the quarterback. We've had great pockets for both games, and they just continue to get better under the tutelage of Mike Richard as their coach.
All right, well, let's shift and talk about what's coming up this week. Got a big game against Texas Lutheran this Saturday night, 6 o'clock start time there, so don't miss that. And we talked about it as well, a little bit of a kind of a rivalry game. I mean, this is a team that was in the ASC, has been out, and they'll be coming back in next year as a football team in the conference. So they've had a bit of a rough start this year, 0-2 against 2 very good teams, though. So what can you tell us about what?
Well, first of all, let's just reiterate what you just said. They're 0-2 against 2 nationally ranked teams. One of the teams is in the top 5, and ETBU blew out their opponent this last week, who they lost to week 1. So we're talking about a TLU team that's been national ranked, started the season nationally ranked, started the season number 21 in the country. Probably have the best running back in the nation in Barole, that is a senior, who gave us fits the last 2 years. And you know, he's hard to tackle. And then you add to what they have as talent. They've got a tremendous coaching staff. Danny Padron has done an amazing job in what he's put together there in a few years there at Texas Lutheran. Put them on the national map. They were very bad when Danny took over, winless, and then he took over, and within 2 or 3 years, he's made them a perennial champion of their conference. So just hats off to Coach Padron and the job that he's done, and it has become a rivalry. And these seniors have never beaten them. These seniors are 0-3 against Texas Lutheran. So this is a game that our guys have had their eyes on for a long time, and for a year they've had their eyes on this game, knowing that this is an important game, because it's against a nationally ranked kind of opponent, regardless of the record. And regardless of records against TOU, you throw them out. The records are thrown out because it's that kind of game. They will play for 4 quarters. They'll be a team you'll have to beat, much like Huntington. You're going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to make mistakes. So you've got to go in and game plan these guys and take it to them and beat them.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk a little bit about, you mentioned the running back already last week. Texas College, I mean, they got 4 and 5 receivers out on the field pretty much every play, and now you switch to a team they're going to run the ball probably more than Texas College is going to run it. So how does that shift in the styles of offense affect how you prepare defensively?
Well, they'll be very similar to Huntington in their approach. You know, you got to stop the run, and you've got to contain number 5. You can be in a good place, but he's so shifty that even if you're in position, he can make you miss. You got to tackle number 5, and then they've always got a manager at quarterback, a guy that can manage the game well and play within himself, play within the scheme real well, and the young man that they have has not been a starter, but he's been in their system for 2 years, and we recruited him. We thought that he was a guy that we liked coming out of high school, and he lived in San Antonio, so he chose to go there. It was between us and TOU, and he chose them because of the proximity to his home. But I told him when we recruited him, I really don't want to play against you, but because he's got that kind of potential.
Right.
But they always play very soundly on defense as well, and just a great matchup. You know, they're good in the kicking game, so we will have to play very well in all three phases of the game against a team that just because the record's not going to be phased, they're going to come in here hungry for their first win of the season. So the Wildcats will have to be prepared.
Yeah, and I assume we'll have Easton back at quarterback for this week.
We sure hope so. we feel like that the rest has helped him, and he's going to be. This is like a sprained ankle in the collarbone. I mean, really, it's going to be a deal that could bother him for 5 or 6 weeks. He's just going to have to play with some pain, and he's the kind of guy that will. You know, if he can go, he'll do it, and he's been faithful in getting the treatment, and the week off helped him, and he'll be ready to go. He likes playing in these kinds of games, so I feel certain that Easton will be ready to play.
Yeah. Well, it certainly is shaping up to be quite a fun night at Wildcat Field this Saturday night. Texas Lutheran, Louisiana College, 6 p.m. It's also Community Appreciation Night, so come on out for that. We'll have some fun stuff going on throughout the game. So, yeah, don't miss it. Coach, any final thoughts on the game?
Well, we just, again, community appreciation. We thank this community so much for embracing Louisiana College football and the positive things that are happening on our campus, community-wide. Our young student athletes are always involved in community service, giving back, and we appreciate the community. We hope the community will come out. It'll be a night game. This year there's 4 night games. The weather will be cooler. I don't think we're competing against LSU for the time slot. I'm not sure about that, but these young people need your support. We appreciate what you do for Louisiana College and Louisiana College football. So come see this product, and we hope that we represent you very well in the coming weeks ahead.
All right, Coach. Well, again, thanks for your time this week. We look forward to a fun night Saturday night, and we'll have you back on again next week, hopefully talking about a W and preparation for the vaunted ASC schedule that will be beginning really, really soon. So thanks again, folks, for watching. I'm Brad Welburn for Wildcats Media Sports. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.